What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. So, obviously, you probably noticed that there's a heart up in that big urn on the table here that I grabbed real quick. But before we go forward, there's one important thing we have to do. We have to equip the Holy Glasses! I should also probably set up the defense spell. Grant me power! Cow shield spell! And I want to make sure to have the Holy Sword on. So, dash in here, and you may recall this as being where we fought Dracula at the beginning.
I've been waiting for you.
Answer me. Why is a Belmont planning the resurrection of Count Dracula?
Count Dracula rises but once every century, and my role is over. If I can resurrect him, then the battle will last for eternity.
If those are your true feelings, then so be it.
Okay, so first off, he opens up with this item crash. To avoid that, you just missed. And now you'll notice that there's a little green orb floating around, and that is our real goal. But that orb is only actually visible. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can only even hit it if you have the Holy Glasses on. We want to kill the orb, but not kill Richter. And that's where the Holy Sword comes in handy again, because if you hit Richter with the Holy Sword, it doesn't actually do, doesn't do any damage. Does it do no damage or only one damage? I don't know. And the reason we use the defense spell is because Richter's really frickin' annoying.
But all is not yet lost. The resurrection of Count Dracula is at hand.
So Shaft was controlling Richter. I'll never understand why they decided to name this, dark priest guy, this, not ultimate villain, but this nefarious character. I'll never understood why they decided to call him Shaft. It's such a terrible name. For all the reasons you're probably thinking. Now, if you played Castlevania Symphony of the Night before, and you didn't get the Holy Glasses, then this is probably not something you've ever seen before. Or at the very least, it's something that it's very easy to miss. If you're thinking that looked a whole lot like a second castle,
No.
you were right.
What have I done?
Thank you, Alucard, for saving Richter.
Alucard? The same Alucard who fought alongside my ancestor, Trevor Belmont? That was over 300 years ago.
Indeed!
No time for small talk. Is the person who controlled you in that castle over there?
Yes, I think so.
Maria, take Richter and leave here. I'll finish this.
I'll finish
All
this.
right. Good luck.
I'm Batman. So, Alucard just kind of moseys his way over here on his own, and annoyingly enough, there's actually a map tile that we have to that he doesn't explore. So we have to take this teleporter right back over. And jump up here, and we're good. So, this is the entire castle. I think that's pretty much everything explored. If you press start, you want to have... Wait, 935 rooms? Is that right? I guess it is. Yeah, that should be right. You want to have probably around 930-ish rooms explored if you're aiming to get the best ending in the game. So anyways, as I was saying, second castle. This is a second castle. It's an entirely different castle from the other one. Or at least a mostly different castle, because as you can probably tell, it's exactly the same, except it's upside down. So that's kind of inconvenient. But we don't need the Holy Glasses anymore. Oh, I should have probably replaced the Mirror Cuirass a while ago. I'm surprised Richter was only doing 1 damage to me with the Mirror Cuirass on. So anyways, if you defeat Shaft instead of killing Richter, you get to go to the Inverted Castle. And up here we have a whole bunch of life and heart-ups, and a Royal Cloak, which is slightly better than the Crystal Cloak. No, frickin' Wing Smash! Oh my god, why do I not Wing Smash? Okay, here we have more of the thing-ups. And a Bastard Sword, which is probably your best bet if you don't have the Holy Sword. Because obviously, like, the Holy Sword, it's not that it doesn't exist in the PSP version of the game, it's just the only way you can get it is to get lucky off of a drop, which is kind of unfortunate. So, now we have the entire Inverted Castle to explore, which is an interesting challenge compared to the normal castle, because on one hand, we don't have the restriction of needing to get any abilities to actually make our way around here. Obviously, we have all of our movement abilities already. So right from the get-go, the entire castle is basically open to us. The challenge comes in the fact that, well, where do you start? Like, how do you even do that? Like, you have to do everything. And it's... I would not say it's, like, a comparable challenge to routing, okay, I gotta get this ability and then go here, and then go get this ability and take this ability and go there. I didn't actually mean to come this way. You know what? Screw it. That's a boss, but I'm just gonna kill him. He's a really easy boss. I might as well do it. Where'd my... There it is. And maybe now you're starting to see why I decided to try and skip as many items as possible, because then this happens to our inventory. Bad things. Interestingly enough, my intended route through this castle actually has this guy as not the last boss, but one of the last bosses I fight. And obviously he was not very hard even when we first came to the Inverted Castle, so you can imagine how easy he would be if we came here later. So what does the Ring of Vlad actually do? Int plus 10. That's not that useful. I'm trying to think. There's an item. If I'm coming this way... Yeah, it's not worth it. Basically, the way I see it, there's two ways you can make your way through the castle. You can go left, or you can go right, to begin with. And you go in like a giant loop around. I think, honestly, that the left route is probably faster. But that's just not the way that... No, don't get the lightning mail. My inventory. I guess it's armor, so it goes in a different slot. So it's not a big deal. But anyways, I think the left-right route might actually be faster. Just because you get a couple of things going that way which increase your strength, which obviously makes it a lot easier to kill things faster. But I just don't really feel like going that way first. It just feels more right, I guess, to go right first. Haha, haha, puns. Play on words, etc. So that is what I'm going to do. But unfortunately, we have to explore all of the areas over again that we just got finished doing in the normal castle. Basically, the requirements for getting the best ending in this game are well, I don't think you have to get all the relics, because we've got like all these relics. I can't recall honestly if you have to get all of them. But the biggest requirement is that you have to have 196 completion. And the way that the game measures completion is by your exploration percent. Oh man, I didn't mean to fall down quite that far. Stupid Skull Lord. Stop it! No! No! Go away, York. No, why did you... Ah! Screw it, I'm just gonna bat up here. So exploration is all that the game really looks at. So ultimately what matters here is you have to explore, I believe it's 1,840 rooms total before you beat the final boss. So we are at 994 rooms. So if you do some simple math, 920 times 2 is 1,840. Oh, oops. I actually didn't mean to do that, but it's kind of funny that it happened. It's actually kind of interesting. Anyways, yeah, so you don't have to get every single room in both castles, which is good because I don't think it's impossible, but there's a couple rooms in the inverted castle that I've just never been able to get, no matter how hard I tried, which is kind of unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? So, hit up the save point. It's actually really interesting, a really interesting challenge doing this castle upside down, because it's like, it really challenges how well you know the castle. Okay. Because you literally have to know the castle, like, inside out, kind of deal. I know each room upside and downside. So, equip the Mirror Curious real quick here, because we are fighting Medusa. The best way to take care of her is to just kind of stick up pretty close to her and stay ducked. That little laser beam thing that she shot out, the little purple beam, will petrify you if it hits you. Obviously, if you stay close to the ground, that's not a big deal, but yeah. So for killing her, we get the Heart of Vlad, which avoids curse, okay. And even on top of the challenge of knowing the castle in both directions, I find it really interesting that, like, I would consider the level design of this game pretty good, but when you consider the fact that when they were making this castle, they had to make a castle that works just like every single room in the game has to work just as well upside down. That just, like, amplifies my respect for the level design here by, like, 1,000. It's pretty crazy. And it works, like, it's... I would not say that the Inverse Castle is quite as good as the normal one, as far as the level design goes. Some of the rooms are pretty annoying to get through. I guess you could probably argue that that is intentional. But that's just the way I feel about it. So, throw on the Sprite Breaker again real quick. Feels like we were just here. Nothing quite so important to grab in here, although Twilight Cloak is basically the best cloak in the game. Although that depends a little bit on who you ask. Ultimately, the stats you get off your cloak are not that important. And in the shop, there's a cloak that allows you to customize the color of both the lining and the outside of the cloak. So I think some people would probably claim that that is the best cloak just because it's stylish and you can make yourself look funny. Apparently that's a plus to some people. I wouldn't necessarily blame them. Looking silly is fun, I guess? Okay, so I want to go down that way, but before I do that... Oh god, I hate this room so much. Oh, what is that? Brilliant Mail? Interesting. I can actually use that. No! Stupid imps. Honestly, the imps are probably the most annoying part of this room. If I want to kill the archer dudes faster, I would just equip a different sword. The reason... Like, if I was using something other than the Holy Sword, they would probably die in a single shot. Because they're resistant to Holy. Okay, so I gotta summon the horsey. This is not really the optimal right now, like, this is kind of the opposite of the way that I want to go. And by the way, the reason I summoned the horse is because, otherwise, if I didn't increase my strength, those shields would have taken 1 damage from all my hits. But anyways, I wanted to at least get a chance to look at that guy, because... Should I? I guess at least looking at that hallway is fine. What was I saying? This sword has a chance to drop a really good sword. So, giving myself the opportunity to look at him at least a couple times is... Wow, I'm surprised I got that soul seal input. The sword in question is good enough that it's worth trying to get a couple times, in my opinion. Another brilliant mail, wow. Wait, does soul steel really not hit an imp if it's controlling you? That's obnoxious. Okay, well anyways, that's enough of that room. At this point, we want to start looking at hitting up some candles. We want to make sure we got a decent amount of hearts, but more to the point, we need some holy water. Oh man. Those zombies, they're not super hard to kill, but they're really obnoxious. I guess I might as well show you why. If you're using the holy sword, they're not too bad, but basically you attack it and it like flies up, and then you have to kill the bottom. And keep in mind that I'm doing 118 damage to these things. If I was using a normal sword, like, I don't know, the Ice Brand, it's got about the same attack. Like, it takes a little while to kill each one, and like, there's so many of them, it's just kind of obnoxious, so... As with a lot of rooms in the inverted castle, it's ultimately just so much easier to just wing smash your way through. It's faster, and it's easier, and there just isn't any hassle, and it's just whatever. So, if you recall, this is actually the inverted version of Olrox's quarters. There we get the Alucard mail, which might be better right... Yeah, it is better right now. So, the Alucard mail is... I guess you could say it's the best armor in the game. It's got the highest static armor, to be sure. The walk armor ultimately has a beat if you are going for, like, actually trying to get exploration. Where the Alucard mail has an advantage is in the fact that if we just go down here a bit, okay, wing smash. No, didn't go quite far enough. Okay, there we go. If we look at the Alucard mail, it resists fire, lightning, and ice, so that's a decent advantage for it. Ultimately, it's not all that useful to but resist fire, lightning, and ice, but there are some situations where you might want that. Does it even give any experience? Yeah, these guys are pathetic enough that they've become a normal enemy in the inverted castle. Multiple of them on the same screen, even. They give a little bit of experience, but not much. Not enough that it's worth my time to actually kill them. Ah! Okay. So I actually want to equip this brilliant mail hoo-ha here, because we've got another boss where our holy water is going to do all the work for us. This is Akmodan II. Jeez, that was fast. go, brilliant mail. If you have the dagger, that also works decently well. Basically, any way for you to hit him beyond his little... He puts up a little cloud of, like, yellow pestilence or whatever in front of him. And anything that can basically hit him through that is going to be an easy kill. Oh, right, the entrance is on the bottom, because we're inverted! And we just get a heart max up. Ultimately, our goal in this inverted castle is to obtain the 5 pieces of Vlad. Obviously, we've already gotten 3 of them, which is actually kind of ridiculous considering we've only been here for like 20 minutes. But the next couple are going to take a little bit longer. Not so much because, like, I could get them pretty quickly. Oh, I guess it doesn't even matter that my wing smash failed there. This is a good room to use the spike breaker in, but it also works to just wing smash through here if you're decent-ish at it. No! God! Stupid frickin'... Okay, I'm just gonna do it here, so if I fail, I don't fall into the previous room again. There we go. Good enough. I don't know why I'm so obstinate that that's the only way I can ascend through those areas. It's just like, I know that's the way I should do it. I'm not doing it any other way, damn it. So, I believe I will... Oh, jeez. I missed a little bit of the bell tower there. Oh well, not a big deal. I will continue my way through the inverted castle on the next episode of Let's Play Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Catch you later.